So we'll see the next part, that is corrosion in pipes. Now, first we'll understand diagrammatically. So for that, I am drawing here one pipe, okay, or this is called as a pressure conduit. Now in this, the water is flowing. So water is flowing now. So we will be studying two sections from this. So first is this section, that is section number 1, and this is the second section, section number 2. Now, if the properties of water are not within the prescribed limit, let's say if we talk about pH, if the pH is not properly maintained, that is pH of water, then there is a possibility of corrosion of the surface of this pipe. So this section 1 I am drawing it here. So if we cut it and if we see it properly, then this is the pipe and we are taking a hollow pipe here. So this is a hollow pipe. So what will happen due to the corrosion? So due to corrosion, these layers will get deteriorated. Okay, so these layers will get deteriorated. Slowly, there will be rusting at this point. That is rusting, and due to this rusting, what will happen? The surface of the pipe will start getting disintegrating. Okay, the surface will be attacked due to this rusting, and a small particles of this will start mixing with water. I hope you are getting. What happens generally in corrosion is the water reacts with this surface, the inner surface of the pipe, and then due to the rusting, there is disintegration of the surface. So small particles are then released in the water, and these particles are, if you are taking the metallic pipe, then these will be iron particles. Okay. Now here, what is happening? Iron particles are getting into the flow. So the water now it is contained with the iron particles. Now these iron particles, what happens is that these iron particles, this react with the dissolved oxygen, and they create one compound, that is FeOH3, and this is a precipitate. And the property of this FeOH3 is that it is a sticky substance. It is very sticky. So this FeOH3, which is now formed in the process of flowing of water, this FeOH3, it starts accumulating at the surface. Now what is happening? You once again you see at section number 1, it is the pipe is getting deteriorated or it is disintegrated. Whereas in section 2 or around section 2, what is happening? The FeOH3 precipitate, it is getting stick to the surface. So if we see the cross section, at section number 2, then this is the original pipe, but this FeOH3 precipitate is now forming a surface here. Okay, it is getting stick to the surface, a layer of it. Now by common sense we can say that originally whatever was the capacity of the pipe, now that capacity has been reduced. Okay, so this process in which the FeOH3 gets attached to this inner surface of the pipe, this this is called as tuberculation. Very important. This is called as tuberculation. So what happens in tuberculation? This FeOH3 precipitate, it sticks to the inner side of the pipe. And what will happen if it gets to the inner side of the pipe? The capacity of the pipe will decrease, because you can see this area is now occupied with this sticky surface. Now we'll write the points whatever we have discussed. So start writing. When water flows through, when water flows through a pipe, so we'll take an example of your metallic pipe. It attacks, it attacks and disintegrates the surface of pipe, the surface of pipe. The material of the pipe, the material of the pipe, the material of the pipe gets dissolved and arrested. This phenomenon, this phenomenon is called corrosion. Okay. So what happens due to corrosion? So corrosion reduces the life of pipes. Okay. As it is disintegrating the surface, that means it is going to get expired quickly. Now, under normal range of pH, under normal range of pH, the iron particles which we have seen, that is Fe plus 2, this reacts with water and they form FeOH2. Okay. When water is acidic, when water is acidic, so this Fe ions, Fe ions, this reacts with water, or we can say dissolved oxygen, and this forms the precipitate. Initially they form the precipitate, that is FeOH2. Then this FeOH2, this reacts with the carbon dioxide and oxygen and hydrogen to form a sticky substance, that is ferric hydrate plus carbon dioxide is released. Okay. So this substance which is formed here, this is a precipitate and this is sticky to pipe surface. We have seen that tuberculation. Okay, so that tuberculation is due to this compound which is formed. So there is no need to remember this. I have just given it for your extra information. This FeOH3, this FeOH3 is insoluble, insoluble red precipitate, and it gets deposited, it gets deposited on the pipe surface. It gets deposited on the pipe surface. The process leads to formation, leads to formation of tubercles of FeOH3 on inside of pipe. This process is called as tuberculation. So what happens due to tuberculation? Tuberculation leads to increase in pipe roughness, increase in pipe roughness, and hence reduces the carrying capacity. So this is all about the corrosion and the tuberculation process. Once again, I will quickly revise. The water reacts with the inside surface of the pipe. Okay. Then due to that reaction, there is rusting at these inner sections. Okay. So at the section number 1 you have seen there is rusting. So due to this rusting, the iron particles now are getting added to the water. Now this iron particle reacts with the oxygen which is present in water to form a sticky substance, and that substance is ferric hydrate. Okay, FeOH3. So you can just remember the compound name here, that is FeOH3, ferric hydrate. This much is important. Okay, no need to remember these reactions. Now this ferric hydrate, now it is getting stick to the inner side of the pipe, and this is called as tubercles. Okay, and this whole process is called as tuberculation. Now what happens to tuberculation? The capacity of the pipe decreases. So everything is given here. So you can just read it once again. And this is all about the corrosion in pipes.